We're going to start this video off with a warning. Do not try this at home. I am using non-chlorinated brake cleaner to strip VHT Nightshades off of my side marker. As you can see here, it came out pretty good with the exception of these swirls right here. The reason I did this is because the internet said it was safe, and I kind of felt it was worth a shot considering these are pretty inexpensive, so I figured I'd try it out. As you can see, the results are pretty good, but again, don't try this at home, and especially don't do it on the car because brake cleaner and paint, you know, you really don't want to get those two together. And if you have a wrap, don't even let the brake cleaner mist to get on it because that will instantly melt your vinyl. So these have been pulled off the car so we can scrub them really hard. Came out really nice, and the swirl marks I'm not too worried about because that Luxe Stealth Smoke is going to completely cover up with their nice texture there. And the Stealth Smoke is what I'll be using just to match with the matte finish stripes that I have on the car. Alright, so just consider yourself warned. Don't try this at home. Do this at your own risk. This is not a tutorial. I'm just showing you what my results are. I'm sure there's other things out there, and if you had success with some other chemicals out there to remove VHT Nightshades, please let me know. But whatever you do not do this on the Challenger taillights. This is not a method used for removing VHT on the Challenger taillights. There are multiple layers of different materials, and if this brake cleaner gets underneath them, it could lift the materials, scratch the materials, break down the materials. I've actually seen cracked taillights and other things from the use of chemicals. So please do not do this on the taillights. They are super expensive. There's got to be another way. Unfortunately, I just don't know what that way is. All right, let's get started. So in today's video, we are going to fix this little problem here, which is the VHT Nightshades on my side markers. For those of you who don't know, a long time ago, I VHT Nightshaded all 4 of my side markers. Did a nice video on how to pull them out and spray them, and pulling them out is going to come in handy today. So what I'm about to do is we're going to remove the VHT Nightshade using the brake cleaner method. And this is a use at your own risk, so just keep that in the back of your head when you go out and buy that can of brake cleaner and start spraying it everywhere. Brake cleaner is kind of aggressive. It does cause some damage, so you're going to need to be careful with it. Now I'm doing the cleanup off the car, so brake cleaner is probably going to melt my wrap. For those of you who don't know, I wrapped this entire car, not the entire car, I wrapped it two-tone in Avery Gloss Dark Gray. Pitch black paint is on the top. Then I put back the stripes with 3M 1080 M2 matte black. And what I want to do is I want to wrap these with the pre-cut kits from Luxe Auto Concepts. I want to use the Stealth Smoke on these, which I feel will tie in really nicely with this, and also the Stealth Smoke and that Destroyer Gray type color really go well together. Now this is the end result of the brake cleaner method. There is no damage to the light. There is some swirling on the light just because of all the scrubbing that I did, but we are back to the original color as compared to that, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it. Alright, so for today we've got the rear side marker light taken out, and a long time ago I did this light up with VHT Nightshades, and I mean it looks okay, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of lost its darkness. It's got a funky color to it when I take photos of the car, and it's just bugging me a little bit. And to give you some backstory, I used VHT Nightshades before I found out about Luxe. In fact, I found out about Luxe when I chickened out and didn't want to spray my rear taillights. So that being said, we're going to try not to destroy the light while we strip off the VHT with non-chlorinated brake cleaner and a microfiber, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so we're doing this off the car because I don't want to get brake cleaner on my paint or on my wrap, because I have a feeling that would pretty much destroy the wrap. So I'm going to spray this on and just scrub and see what happens. Man, I went right in there. Obviously we're going to fast forward this, but it doesn't appear to be doing any damage, and it actually appears to be taking it off quite well. Nice. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking, and I'm just going to do like a high-speed scrub on this. And on top of that, I think I should probably just put on a pair of gloves so I don't dry out my fingers. So I'll be right back and we'll get that started. I feel it's super important too, just before we get started with that high speed, is to do this in a well-ventilated area. I'm in my garage, but I have the garage door open, so I am able to breathe freely. Alright, let's see how long this thing takes.
Shotgun on the beats. A few minutes later.
All right, we're going to take you out in the sun for a second to show you what we got here. So we're at 5 minutes and it's clean, and I want to get some reflections of it. There you go. With a little bit of polish, you can just polish that surface up. Obviously I got some swirl marks from scrubbing with that microfiber, but overall it came out really good. It's nice and clean now, no more VHT, and no melting on the backside, no damage to the light whatsoever. Now we are going to coat it with Luxe, and that's going to be super simple, and we don't need to polish out these swirl marks because the Luxe has that really nice finish that's going to cover that up real easy. I'm going to go ahead and make a quick repair to the car, and I'll show you that too. I missed a spot with the wrap. Alright, so first things first. I had made a mistake a while back, and it's really hard to see, but it bothers me. There's a little dip right here in the vinyl. Let me bring you in real close. There's a little dip in the vinyl you can see from, I guess, up high, and it shows through when you have the taillight. When you have the side marker in. So what I want to do is I cut a little piece of vinyl patch, and I'm gonna just patch this area right here, and it should make it invisible. I did clean the area, and I'm going to follow that up with some isopropyl 50/50 mix here of isopropyl and distilled water. This should get the area nice and tacky, get any waxes off. And again, this is just part of perfecting what's already there. Wish for the best here. Let's see what happens. I want to just cover right to the edge of that. Obviously, we need to cut that. Now you and I are going to know it's here, but hopefully no one else will. Let's curve that up there. There we go. And that should cover that nicely. It meshes with the seam, so, oh, that sucked. It meshes with the seam, so to the eye, no one's going to see this. So it's going to be awesome. So as you can see, that seam has already disappeared because it's hanging down on the edge here. So unless you're under the car looking straight up, you're never going to see that. Okay, to reinstall the light, we're just going to line that back up again. Make sure we got the right pattern. It slides in this way and clips. For those of you who didn't watch my removal video, you just reach under the car and push on this clip right here, and it slides out and you arch it out. I'll put that video in the upper right corner now. Alright, let's go grab our Luxe kit and go ahead and tint this out in Stealth Smoke. Alright, so for those of you not familiar with Luxe Auto Concepts, when you buy these kits, you get yourself a squeegee, a bottle of their prep solution, a microfiber towel, and of course a nicely labeled piece of vinyl. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean this light. And I've already cleaned all the seams, as you've seen in the last portion of the video, so everything's all ready to roll. So all we need to do is basically apply the vinyl. It. Now this is their older Stealth Smoke formula. I haven't had a chance to get an order in of their new stuff, but that's next on the list. But this will do for now to get me through that car show that I need to get through. And then we will finish this off the right way when that new order comes in. So you know, these squeegees are really super flexible, so they allow you to get those corners really nice, so you can actually conform around the corners and get them right in there really well. All right, so this light is installed, and I just got to do the remaining 3 lights now, which is going to take forever because I got to rip them out. Got to take out the air filter for the front light, but these are going to look pretty sweet when they're done. Now, if you are not installing these in 90-degree heat like I am, you're going to definitely need to do a little bit of heat with the blow dryer. All right, there you have it. We've got a nice matching finish of that stealth smoke with the matte finish on my stripe, and everything kind of blends in nicely. Figured we'll do this one in the direct sunlight so you can get a good idea of the stripping process. I had to keep going out into the sun to get a good view of it. Again, we're using non-chlorinated brake cleaner, of course microfiber, and a lot of elbow grease. From what I found from the last one, the key is to keeping it wet and keeping the rag clean. So if we just keep folding the rag over, soaking it with brake clean and scrubbing, looks like we came along really nice there. You can see the, I guess, the fade. Let's catch the sun. There we go. The fade between the two. Now, if you want to go back to your original just red color, I'd recommend you just grab a polisher with some really fine polish and just go over this to get all those, I guess, those swirl marks out of here. Now the cool part is you can tell when all the VHT is off. You see that haze that's developing there? As you get rid of the VHT, that stops happening, but you also have to keep using a fresh area of the rag to find out.
A few minutes later.
Alright, so normally you apply these on the car, but since we have these off, I want to try an application with it off the car. It's probably going to make it a little more difficult because these are meant to be applied on the car, but let's see how it goes. Trying to do this on camera is going to be proving to be a little difficult. Now you want a little bit of majority of the film to wrap over the top. You see how I left that overlap there? This heat is also really helping. Look how nicely that went down. And then we just tuck the edge around the corners. Do both of the corners first. There we go. Nice, easy install. And we did it off the car, so that's another option for you guys. I'm gonna bring you in really close here. Hopefully you can see this. My microphone is not letting me get any closer. As I remove the light to do the Luxe video, I notice I have a little bit of failure right here in this wrap. Now it's still nice around this corner here, so I want to salvage that. Now I could try and push it down, but it's not going to re-stick, so I'm going to want to cut this out gently. So I have my extremely sharp 90-degree blade, and I am going to run it against the paint like I normally do. But again, we're using the smooth section of the knife, not the blade itself. And we're going to slice this out as best as we can, and then patch it. This way it doesn't lift up any further. And this went a little further than I was hoping it would go, but we were able to get that out there nicely. And we're going to clean the area with some isopropyl. And we're going to try and salvage that Now we can most likely put the light back on, but I want something that's going to wrap around the edge of this and protect it. And because it's on a body line, we're all right. So I'm going to try and do this with a patch. And it looks like that patch is going to need to be about that long. Back you guys up so I can work here. Now I've already cut this patch as straight as possible. And what I want to do is conform it to the edge first and then work it in. Now, this is really difficult, but we nailed it. Now I'm just going to apply a little bit of heat to make sure it stays down. Alright, we're just going to apply a little heat to set that in place. Make that conform really nicely. And we'll just get this light right back in. Remember, it only goes in one little spot right there. That's where it fits, and it's very hard to get in there. There we go. Done. Now you can't even see where it came up. Again, the patch wasn't totally necessary. It's just I wanted something fresh to go over that corner there to, you know, make it seem or make it a little bit more stable. Alright, so that's going to conclude today's video. If you guys found this helpful in any way, please feel free to gently press that like button. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching.